Here we go, Skinscast. Damn it! John is here with another Skinscast video segment. Third time I've tried to make this video. And first time I hated it. Second time I liked it, but I erased it because I'm an a-hole when I had to reformat my computer. And the third time, I'm hoping I get this right. And I'm hoping I do so in a reasonable amount of time. The question today is, should the Washington Redskins change their name? Now, everybody who's follows this team is aware that for years some people have been trying to get the team to change its name away from the Washington Redskins, with the problem being the Redskins. Some people assert that the name is an inappropriate slight against Native Americans. The team, for their part, the team says, no, we don't intend to insult anyone. Actually, we're trying to celebrate the fierceness and the courage and the bravery, the fighting tradition of the Native Americans. So they say, we're not looking to insult anyone. We're actually trying to celebrate that. So anyone associated that follows the team knows that this has been going on for some years. There's been lawsuits about it. The most recent one a few years ago was thrown out on a technicality because something didn't happen in time. And I've heard that another suit is coming. I don't know if it's already been filed, but I hear another suit, a similar suit's coming. But the most recent uproar that we're dealing with right now began when some writers at the Washington Post, some columnists, started writing about this again. And I don't know, it was just like as soon as the season ended, we started getting stories, right? And it seemed coordinated for me. I get Google alerts, and anything that's Redskins related in the news, I get alerted that there's a story. And it was just like one story, then another, and then people from the four-letter network started writing about it, and now they're having forums, and there's broader discussion and what have you. And for the record, I know some of the writers involved, and I like them, and I respect them very much. And I understand that, they have a perspective on this, and mine may or may not be the same, but I still respect these people. However, this is media concocted. This current uproar was a construct of the media. That's where we are right now today. So the question is, should they change their name? And I'm going to answer it two ways. The first way, I would say, should they do it? I think they should do it if they want to change the name. The second part is, should they do it based on moral grounds or appropriateness? That's what I want to discuss a little bit. First of all, I don't want anyone to be insulted. I don't want to disparage or defame any group of people, Native Americans or anybody. So when I think of Washington Redskins, me personally, John Pappas, I do not in any way feel any sort of animosity or anything towards any group of people or individuals. That's not what it brings to mind for me. In order to answer this correctly, forgive the pause, I think we have to look at something called political correctness. And I think we all have an idea of what that is. And for me, political correctness is this movement that kind of tells us what's appropriate to say and what's not appropriate to say and what's appropriate to feel and not appropriate and to believe. I'm not a big fan of it. I'm not a big fan of it because I think it inhibits real discourse and exchange of ideas. And I think it kind of frames things in such a way that we never get to have any good discourse, real open discussion about it, because it's some foregone conclusion based on political correctness that there's an issue with something. So I think this particular issue has political correctness all over it. So on the one hand, what happens in political correctness is we all become assigned to groups. We're all hyphenated Americans, whether it's African American, white American, Latino American, handicapped Americans, handicapable, whatever it is, we get assigned to these groups. Then the media, who I think is in large part responsible, and I'm part of them. I've been, but I think we're in large part responsible for this political correctness, purports to speak on behalf of these groups and take their voice. So in this case, I think that's exactly what you have happening. You have a group of writers at the Washington Post and elsewhere that are speaking on behalf of the Native Americans who they say are being slighted by the name Redskins. The problem is, we are not each of us an entire people. We are persons, individuals. All of us are persons. And persons, as you know, people, you can say a lot of things about people. People believe this, people believe that, they're doing this to people. But persons individually feel different ways about different things. And while some Native Americans are certainly feel slighted by this name, others do not and have said as much. And I don't think you can, with one broad brush, speak for an entire group of people. Now, it may be possible that the name is inappropriate and insulting to some individuals, but I know for a fact that it's not insulting to other individuals. And so really, to use a legal term, who has standing in this whole debate? Is it the writers at the Washington Post? I don't know if any of them are actually Native American. And I'm sure that many of them are not from Washington. So, yet they've, assigned themselves as the moral compass on this issue with the team in Washington. I have an opinion on it as well, which we're talking about right now. I am a native Washingtonian, and I've been a supporter of the team for years. I am not, however, a Native American. But I think I can at least throw in my 2 cents, right? But I'm not sure that, 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or 10 writers get to tell us, what's right or wrong in this matter. There are court cases, I guess, pending or coming, and they'll sort that out. But, the deeper question is, if you don't mean to insult someone, yet they feel insulted, what do you do? I mean, I guess for politeness, that you can make the argument that maybe you should change the name. But the reality is people get insulted all the time. People get insulted by me. Can you imagine? I insult people not even trying to. I'm insulted constantly, even looking into a mirror. So, but is that a basis, a rational basis to actually change something and do something? I do believe that some Native American individuals are insulted, and I do believe that others are not. And I don't know ultimately what is appropriate about this. I have my own sensibilities on it. And if I own the team, perhaps I would make a different decision. Perhaps I would not. But I certainly don't think that a small group of writers get to decide. And I'm not being critical of them. I believe that, the sentiment of the team and of the community will be such that it'll sort itself out. So I believe the most rational person that's written about this so far has been Rick Snyder from the Washington Examiner. And I think he really looked at it as in terms of not the rightness or wrongness, but whether it would actually happen. And he points out, rightfully so, I believe, that it's about the bottom line. And when sponsorship starts becoming uneasy and they start threatening to pull out because of the name, then you'll see the team change. Otherwise, they won't change the name probably in our lifetime. And I agree with both of those sentiments. If FedEx says, look, we're going to pull our sponsorship of FedEx Field because we think the name's inappropriate, then you'll see a change very quick. It happens all the time. But otherwise, I think they won't. The general manager, or Bruce Allen, whatever his title is, said, we've been around for 81 years. This is not a new thing, so, but it's just another new uproar. So I don't think they're going to be inclined to change it anytime soon. And I don't think they should change it based on what a few writers think. And I don't think anyone should make a decision based on what I think. I think that they should let it sort out. If the courts say it's inappropriate, then that's probably what will happen, Otherwise, they should carry on. So that's just my opinion on it. I've gone much longer than I wanted to go, but I wanted to kind of, really speak to how I felt about it. It's difficult in this day and age. It's frustrating for me when everyone's insulted about everything and everything has to be changed and all the names have to be changed and you can't say this and you can't say that. A few years ago, there was a college basketball team in Colorado that they changed the name to the Fighting Whiteys, and it was supposed to be American Indians that were trying to say, hey, see how you like it. But honestly, when I heard about it, I didn't know why they did it, but I had no problems with it. It never insulted me once. And I'm half Greek and I'm half English, French, and a mishmash of different Caucasian stuff, but the Greek is a little bit different, I think, Mediterranean. You know, names like the Trojans or Spartans, which I'm part Spartan, I have no problems with. That's me. Other Greek Americans may, other white Americans may, but honestly, I think we're all Americans. And, you know, again, political correctness, it'll sort itself out. I don't think they need to rush and change the name. Anyway, that's all I got on this. Please send comments, feedback at skinscast.com. Sorry for such a long video today.